What's up guys, I'm back already. As you can tell from the title of this video is for the first Phorm athlete search that I mentioned that I entered last week. Well, not last week because these videos are going to go up like simultaneously. So in the other video that I pretty much probably just uploaded, the challenge that they gave us for this week was to make a video telling our story. And I've told my story on YouTube before, but I thought this would be kind of a good way to reintroduce my channel and myself because a lot has changed since I told my story the last time. So if you're new to my channel, then welcome. My name is Megan Clark. I am an NPC bikini competitor. I've been competing for 4 years now. I am also an online coach. I have my ISSA certification in personal training, as well as my certification in sports nutrition, so I'm also a sports nutrition specialist. But other than that, I am a mom, and my son is going to be 1 next month. I always say he's the best thing I never knew I wanted, because I didn't think that I ever wanted to have kids. I didn't think I could have kids, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Just to kind of give y'all a little background about me, I was kind of not overweight as a child. I was chubby. We'll call myself chubby. I was the chubby kid, and I wasn't very athletic. I didn't really play sports. I was a cheerleader from 1st through 6th grade, and then I quit because my best friends quit and I just wanted to do what my friends were doing. I didn't really find fitness again until I started cheering in high school again. Cheerleading never left my heart. It was something that I always loved, and I always, to this day, I regret quitting because it was a lot of fun. And so I was a cheerleader again my junior and senior year, and I'm getting off track a little bit. Okay, so camera died, but we are back and getting on track. I was the chubby kid, and I did get made fun of a little bit. I always tried to, you know, hide that it got to me, but it did get to me. And between the summers of 6th and 7th grade, 7th and 8th grade. Between the summers of 7th and 8th grade, I decided that I was going to seriously try to lose weight. Well, the only way I knew how to do that was by restricting what I ate. And so I knew nothing about health and nutrition at this point. I restricted what I ate. I stopped eating snacks at night. I avoided breakfast. I was never really a big breakfast person to begin with, but I restricted what I ate a lot, and it got to the point where I was down to 88 pounds at my lowest, and I was barely eating anything. I would come home and I would eat dinner. Dinner was pretty much the only meal that I ate during the day. I would pick at little things at lunch like pretzels and yogurt. I had like 1 container of yogurt for breakfast, and yeah, so dinner was the only meal that I ate. And then I would just maybe eat something small before bed, but I restricted a lot. And like I said, I got down to about 88 pounds at my lowest. And reached a point where the school and teachers and my friends got concerned about me, and they called me into the office one day, and I just started bawling because they started blaming my parents and saying that, you know, my parents were neglecting me. And basically after that, my parents pulled me out of school. So I finished school that year at home. I had a friend bring me my work every day, and that's how I finished my middle school career. That's how I finished 8th grade. I went to a school online after that for my 9th and 10th grade years of high school. I saw a nutritionist, and at that point I had already stopped restricting. I pretty much stopped restricting on my own. I always kind of felt guilty in the back of my head for doing this to myself, because even though I couldn't see how small I was, and I would look in the mirror and all I would see is fat, I felt bad about it. I felt bad about hiding it. I felt bad about doing it to myself and my body, and I was just tired of being hungry and tired, and I was tired of it. So I stopped, and I saw a nutritionist who helped me gain weight, and then I went back to public school in 11th grade, which is when I became a cheerleader again, and that's really when I found fitness again. I had always had a passion for running, because when I was restricting, running was my way of kind of like keeping myself in check. I would run up to like 5 miles a day, and so I continued to run after I had quote-unquote recovered, because running was my outlet. It was my stress reliever. It gave me this sense of calm. So I continued to do that while I was cheering. I met my now husband in 11th grade after I re-entered public school, and we've been together ever since. He's actually the one who introduced me to weightlifting, and that's kind of where I started to fall in love with weight training. He would make me little like workout circuits, and I would go to the gym after school or before school and do them, and then one day I kind of was just like, you know what, I'm not getting the results that I want with these circuits, so can I maybe, you know, try lifting with you, just do what you do, follow you around the gym. And so I started doing that, and that's basically how I got started in fitness. That's where I found my passion for it, and you know, I haven't obviously looked back or turned back after that. The rest is kind of all history. Competed in my first bikini competition in September of 2013. I did not place at all. That show was strictly just for fun and to try it out, see if I liked it. I took about a year off while my husband went to basic training. He's in the Army. So I took a year off in 2014 while he did all his Army stuff, got all settled there, and then we both competed again in 2015. I competed twice in 2015. I placed third and then second in those two shows. I entered my improvement season, and that lasted up until January of 2016 when I started prepping again for what I thought was going to be my first season doing national shows. So about a month into my prep, I found out that I was pregnant with my son. And Kevin and I had gotten married after he graduated basic training, so, you know, all that's history. Went on our honeymoon, blah, blah, blah. Found out I was pregnant in February of 2016, and I did not think I could have kids. I was actually told by my doctor that I most likely wasn't able to because endometriosis runs in my family, and I was kind of having some of the symptoms. So obviously getting pregnant was a huge shock and something that I wasn't even sure that I wanted. I entered a really long, hard 9 months of depression and anxiety and just overall unhappiness. Being pregnant was probably the hardest time in my life, and I know that's not very typical, but I also know that other women feel this way, and I felt awful for the way that I felt, because I couldn't even admit to myself that I was pregnant. I was just like, nope, we're getting another puppy. Like, I didn't want a kid, but at the same time, I knew that if I lost this baby, I would be even more depressed. So I entered this like really hard time in my life, and I was just very unhappy for 9 months. This is honestly really hard to talk about, but I pushed a lot of people away. I felt guilty for the way that I felt, and I documented that whole 9 months in like a YouTube series the best that I could, because I wanted to talk about how I was feeling, because I knew that other women could relate to it and could just know that they're not alone, because I knew I wasn't the only one who had ever felt this way. but at the same time it's something that's not talked about a lot because most women are ecstatic to be pregnant. It's something that's considered to be like a happy time in your life, and I just wasn't happy. So I documented that 9 months in a little YouTube series, and what really got me through that was the gym, was fitness. I never stopped going to the gym. I worked out 6 days a week up until the day before I gave birth, and I was actually I was happy that I was going into labor the day that I had my son, but I was also upset because it was leg day, and I really wanted to work legs that day. But yeah, so fitness got me through that, and that's also when I kind of found a relationship with God again. Not that I had ever lost faith, but it was something positive in my life, and my husband kind of like helped me find that again, which was nice. I don't talk about my religion a lot, but I do believe, and I do, you know, occasionally read devotionals and stuff like that, and that and fitness really got me through those 9 months. I probably wouldn't be talking about it if I didn't have fitness during that point in my life, if I didn't have a relationship with God during that point in my life. There was a lot of praying going on and a lot of very difficult lifts because I needed an outlet, and those were my outlets. So that's a little bit about my story, and now I'm in prep for my 3rd bikini competition this year. I'm trying to re-qualify for nationals. So my final competition is this coming Saturday, and I'm just ready. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to eat all the food afterwards. But to backtrack a little bit, again, this video is going to kind of be all over the place. I became a trainer because it's always been second nature for me to help people. I went to cosmetology school after I graduated high school because I knew that I wanted to help people in some way, and beauty and hair has always been a big part of my life. I've been playing around with makeup since I was about 5. I remember sitting on my grandmother's porch with my best friend, and we would just do each other's makeup like every day. That's what we did. So I went to cosmetology school because I wanted to help people feel beautiful, and I've always been that friend that was there to listen. I never talked about my own problems. I just wanted to help you with yours. And you know, when you're in a chair at a salon, you kind of start talking to the person that you're helping, and you get to know them a little bit. Sometimes they'll open up to you, and that kind of appealed to me. I like being able to help people. I got carpal tunnel a year after I started working as a cosmetologist in a salon, so I was like, I need to do something different, and my passion for fitness just kind of seemed like the obvious option. So that's when I got certified. My husband and I actually got certified at the same time. We worked at the same gym for a year. I got some gym experience, and then I decided to take my coaching online because the area that I live in, there's not really a big market for personal training. Is a little bit more expensive than people can afford. So I got into online training. It's really hot out here, and I started my own business, Determined Physiques LLC, and that's where we're at now. I help anyone who wants to get into fitness reach their goals. I have a handful of clients between lifestyle and competition prep, and my whole thing is I want to help you reach your goals in the healthiest way possible, because I've seen far too many people restrict and go about things the wrong way, and I've been there. Like, I know how hard it is to get started, and I want to make that a little easier for you. That's my whole thing. I want to help others reach their goals in a maintainable and sustainable are the same thing. If you haven't noticed by now, I have trouble with my words. Especially when I'm low in calories. But I want to help others you know, reach their goals in a sustainable way, in the best way possible for them. You don't have to go to the gym 6 days a week. You don't have to, you know, cut down to 500 calories a day. You don't have to do endless amounts of cardio. You don't even have to go to the gym 5 days a week. It could be 3, it could be 2. There are a ton of different ways to reach your goals, and the thing is, you just have to find what works for you. And eventually I would like to, in some way, help, you know, girls who went through what I went through, who, you know, think the only way to reach your goals is by restricting your food. I would love to work with younger, like teenagers who are going through things like that. Not in the personal training sense, because that's not right, that's not ethical, but in some way I would love to help that. And you know, I want to show other mothers too that it's not impossible to be a mom and take care of your health and still, you know, look and feel good at the same time. Because it's hard to be in prep and be a mom and balance cooking and dirty diapers and playtime, and it's difficult, but it can be done. It just takes a little effort. My 3 main takeaways are: I'm a mom, I'm a bikini competitor, I'm an online coach, and I just want to help others through whatever outlets that I'm given. You know, you can be a mom, you can be fit, you can be healthy. You don't have to restrict or go to the gym 6 days a week. You don't have to, you know, give up your life just because you have a kid, which is what I thought. So that's a little bit about me. That's my story. I hope you guys enjoyed it, got something out of it, because I'm here to help. I'm here to help. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stick around for the rest of this prep and then the other videos to follow, because there's gonna be some good food. There's gonna be a lot of good food. I will see you guys in the next one.